Hello, this is the story of how I built a tower for my N-gauge German layout. I have this little bit of what I call waste space in the middle of the town where those cars are parked, and I want to put one of those observation towers, communication towers in there. So I'll just show you how I did it. So we'll now go down to the workbench because I've started doing it, and these are some of the components I needed to start with. First of all, I've used a batten holder. That's for an ordinary light fitting that goes up in the ceiling like that, similar to the one that's over there at the back. And that will give me the base for the observation area with a restaurant and what have you on top. There's a feller motor which will rotate the platform, will rotate the interior of it. I've used some 9mm MDF and I've turned it down on a lathe as best I can. It fits the motor in there, and then I've made a smaller one to anchor the motor, so I can anchor the motor on there. I hope you can see that, it's a bit dark there. The motor will sit inside that, like so, once the wire's all sorted out. As you can see here, I've started putting the posts up to hold the roof on, which will, this is not the roof, but it'll sit somehow like that. This here, I bought a new battery for the car, and that was a plug that was, or a cap that was on one of the terminals. It was that one, and there was a blue one. So I drilled a hole in the middle and put the nuts on, and that will sit down just like that. Piece of cardboard cut around with a best I can with a pair of scissors, and the hole punched out in the middle. That will sit down over there and push right down. Now that and that will rotate once I get the people and furniture fitted in. I got this bit of where are we? There. This bit of cardboard. Now that is the core out of a roll of sticky labels. That will glue to the roof, sort of underneath, and that will slide down over that, and that will not rotate, and I can put my scenery on there, such as doors, like a cafeteria type of thing. The motor is a Feller one, off the shelf Feller motor. On the top, of course, we'll have a mast which will come up like so. That's a Viessmann one. I don't know yet whether I'm going to use the large one or the small one, but that will be on the top. Underneath there, where it fits into here, I'm going to have a wooden pole. That is yet to be made, and I'll show you that in a future video or follow on from this. Right, that there's the base, upside down of course, the Feller motor, along with the the floor, and that is the floor that will rotate. Then down here we have the roof and the inner wall, which will not be rotating, and if I turn the light off things will go dark, and as you can see I have LEDs which will be mounted in there to give light for the public viewing area. Oh, that's a bit bright. Strip LEDs purchased from J-Car. And then up here I have got the wire all sort of twisted together that will go up the inside the pole. Okay, progress on the tower. As you can see, I've got this part all sort of built now. Not what I wanted it to look like, but it looks like something, so we'll actually have a go and see what it looks like when it's working. And if I get a screwdriver and turn the temporary light on at the top, I think I may have to adjust the brightness on those LEDs because they are inclined to throw the light out a wee bit too much. I really want it just to light up inside the building, not half the layout. That's the progress as of the 17th of November 2012. Man, they are going fast, aren't they? Right, another update. That's basically the base. I've still got to run those wires there down through this bottom bit here, but it's all virtually assembled. Since my last video I have had to completely rebuild that tower due to the fact that for some unknown reason it would rotate. Never found out why. Well, that's it, in and working. Not the best of things, but it's working. Trying to do about 3 things at once here. Never mind. Those LEDs underneath the observation platform will have little surrounds around them, so I'll throw the light more down instead of around. Righty-ho. It's all complete. The tower is finished, and at the moment it's sitting there, just it's installed, that's in its place. Still be a wee bit of work in front of the building there, but you know, when you look at it, she's pretty good. I'm happy with it. I wouldn't like to be that man working up there. I'm a man who's very happy when his feet are firmly on the ground. Any rate, this layout, as you may realise, is a display layout. We transport it around parts of New Zealand, and as you can see, there's the height of the backdrop going across there, just above that sort of backdrop, right? So, and as you can see, the old tower protrudes well above it, so rather than sitting in a trailer at 90 k's getting blown to heck, it is removable. So we can quite easily do that. I wear gloves because the tower, that part there, is painted with this, glow in the dark. So after I've had a running session for a while and the lights up there are all turned off, the whole lights in the room, it's dark, everything here is dark, that pole right up and the building at the top, or the structure at the top, glows. And just a bit of a kinky sort of thing I saw in the shop one day and I bought it. So all I got to do is hold the mast, which has got a lot of strength in it, and it's a wooden pole, and you just pull, that will all come out gently. Yep. Underneath there's 2 bolts which you can bolt it to the in place on the layout with those wing nuts there, and then instead of throwing it onto the back seat of the car or wherever, I have made a little carry case here, and I'll try now to get it in the case. Oops, not much room in this train room of mine, but it goes down there, and as you will see, the pole sits in little polystyrene cradles. Then we come back to this end. We've got 3 power supplies going into it. That one there is my 16 volt AC. That's for the motor to rotate it and the lights inside. That there is 2 pen light batteries, which is 3 volts. That powers the beacon on the top. That's 4 volts. That powers the 2 LEDs that are, or the lights that are shining down from underneath the tower. Now they all tuck in there, and then this also tucks in there. I just put my gloves in there. Can't take that one off because my other hand's somehow occupied. The lid folds down, those foam pads come in onto the mast, the pole I should say, and hold it in place. Clip it down, and push that back and clip that one in. There, all ready to go. Safely, you can then put it in the boot of the car with things on top of it and not have a problem. And just as a bit of a side point, that little locomotive there, that's a rag mat that my sister made for me when I turned 21, which is it's over 45 years ago. That is Pilgrim, which was the first steam locomotive in New Zealand. And the mat has really worn well. Wonderful job she made. And apart from one Markland locomotive, that's all I can say I got from the 21st. So what's my next project? It's this thing. Fallowfield, my British end gauge layout. It started off as going to be just this wide. There's the line going through there. And I realised I wasn't going to fit anything but an oval in there, so then I added this extra bit on, and it ran very well. It runs very well, but not big enough. So I'm going to double the size of it, so it will be just on what will be about 2.8 metres. It's 1400 at the moment across, 1100 deep. So that's my next project, is to double the size of that, and then I get into cleaning this rubbish up, which is my NZR layout 316, which is very close to 00 in the British standards, and that is all that side there is going to be ripped out and start again. So that's going to keep me busy for the rest of 2013.